So I've been watching the Ted Bundy in his own, fucking hell. Ted Kaczynski, another mass murderer, sorry. I've been watching on Netflix Ted Kaczynski in his own words, and first thing I noticed, hearing all these old tapes, interviews, even as Harvard University, they were recording him. How much does Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, sound like Terence McKenna, the psychedelic public speaker guy? Exact same voice. Maybe Terence McKenna's from the same part of town. Maybe that's the Harvard voice they do. But watching Ted Kaczynski, and again, this isn't to be insensitive to his victims, and it wasn't just people he was blowing up and killing. He maimed, bit of saxophone in the background, he maimed and disabled a lot of people, and it was pure mental illness, the poor guy. But when you look at the experiences he had as a child, there was a 5-day hospital thing, which is extremely traumatic. There was the kind of psychological experiments. I don't even know if it had something to do with the CIA. They were doing humiliating and absolute dignity destroying psychological experiments, and they're recording Ted Kaczynski and making him feel this big. The guy went mad. But the reason I raise this is that I cannot fault his manifesto. I think it's called Technological Society and its discontents or its future. Ted Kaczynski's manifesto that he forced the newspapers to publish. It's a fantastic bit of writing. I love the whole anarcho-primitivist vibe. I think, my personal feelings are, maybe we would all be happier as cavemen living in the jungle. I saw this old video from the Amazon jungle where they were using stable camera shots from like kilometers away, filming the last uncontacted tribes on Earth. And the Brazilian anthropologist was like in tears saying in Portuguese, like, these are maybe the last free people on Earth. And so the industrial way of living leads to the industrial way of dying. You've got your pandemics, you've also got madness, it was only a miracle that meant we didn't have nuclear annihilation, which would have not only ended civilization, it would have ended Mother Nature. And I watched the SpaceX launch yesterday, the first private manned spaceship successfully launched. Well done, Elon. And I feel great as a human being, but at what cost do we have all this technology? At what cost? And speaking of Americanized Polish names, who was it that wrote the Technotronic Society? Zbigniew Brzezinski. Brzezinski said, it used to be easier to control 1 million people than to kill 1 million people, but now it's so much easier to kill 1 million people than to control 1 million people. That's mad talk. And so technological society, it provides the very craziest people, the very most malignant, malicious people with a fulcrum. I mentioned this in the video recently. Can you imagine true humanity haters who are intelligent but warped, getting jobs in virology labs, getting jobs in secret societies? Who knows what the hell people do, but we cannot trust people to have fingers on the nuclear button. You cannot have people who think it's okay to send out drones, predator drones armed with Hellfire missiles and just blow up potential terrorists. To get that one terrorist, you have to kill like 20 kids. The whole village becomes radicalized. So is technological society worth it? Don't know.